Hello, it is Lindsay with Hope and Homeschool. Long time, no video. So I actually started making homeschooling videos about a little over 2 years ago, and I literally don't know how, but this channel got over 1,000 subscribers in that time. But I haven't made a video in so long, and so much has changed. Yes, we're still homeschooling. I'm 6 years into our homeschooling journey. I'm here to tell you what we're still doing, what we're not still doing, and let you know what I've learned along the way. So just a quick recap, and this has also probably changed since the last time I made a video. I am a mother of 3 daughters. We homeschool all of them. I have a 5th grader, a 2nd grader, and a preschooler. I am pretty much a classical Christian educator. I like to think that I'm Charlotte Mason. I got like this much Charlotte Mason going on. If you don't know what those mean, I actually have a video where I talk about all the different styles of homeschooling. You can go back and check it out. I had purple hair back then. I have lost the purple hair, although I'm thinking about bringing it back. I also work part-time. Yes, you heard that correctly. I work part-time. Since the last time I have made a video, I actually took a marketing job that I work about 15 hours a week. So between that and my business, I work about 15 to 20 hours a week. I also have like a giant Facebook group called Mom Binder Masters. I dabble in podcasting. We have an online membership, but realistically, that doesn't take me much time every month. So I work about 15 to 20 hours a week-ish. All right, so let's get to it. This is what we are currently doing. So the last time you talked to me, we were doing classical conversations. We still do classical conversations. If you don't know what classical conversations is, it is a K through 12 curriculum. It's also a homeschooling community. It's a classical Christian curriculum. It goes along with children's natural development. So in like those first formative years, which is like kindergarten through about 6th grade, they're doing something called foundations. Foundations is essentially memory work. It also ties in some math and science, but it's basically just learning the facts. I have to say, after having a child go from kindergarten through almost 6th grade in the foundations program, I am amazed by all of the information that she can just pull out of her brain. I'm actually amazed by all of the information that I can just now pull out of my brain. She has the 13-minute timeline song completely memorized. She knows all of her skip counting, her multiplication tables, all of these random things that I would probably have to look up. History facts, tons of science facts. She has it all tucked away in her memory bank. But with classical conversations starting at 4th grade, from 4th grade to 6th grade, they also do a program called Essentials. This is what the Foundations book looks like. Now again, CC is a paid program. Some people love it, some people hate it. We happen to be on the team that loves it. It is an investment. You are paying for access to a community and curriculum. For us, it's worth it. You decide for you. But the Foundations curriculum is broken into 3 cycles. Every single year you do a cycle, and no matter what classical conversations community you're a part of throughout the United States, they are all on the same cycle. So this year we're actually doing cycle 1. This is a look at cycle 2, but it's 24 weeks each year, and they will have all of this stuff memorized. It's hard to believe. So my 6th grader next year will have gone through all 3 cycles twice, right? Yes, all 3 cycles twice. I've gone through all 3 cycles multiple times, okay? Plus she's gonna be around when her sisters are going through those same cycles, so, you know. And once they hit 4th grade, they are still doing foundations, but they're also doing a program called Essentials. Essentials kind of terrified me when I was just a foundations mom. And actually our first year of foundations, we did without the community because of COVID-19. Communities were going virtual and we just decided it was too crazy. So we actually did the first year of Essentials on our own. Do not recommend. We survived, but this year I'm actually experiencing Essentials for the first time with community. Totally different experience. It was so much better with community. Basically in Essentials, they're learning the foundations of English grammar. They're learning parts of speech. They're learning how to write. They also work through a program called the Institute for Excellence in Writing. This is the one that we're doing this year. It actually follows along with the same history that they're doing in Foundations. We're studying ancient history this year. Last year we did US history. But basically, your fourth grader between fourth and sixth grade learns how to write better than I could write in college. I'm not even kidding. It is one of the best. I know other co-ops actually use IEW. I know homeschoolers who do IEW on their own, but it is actually also part of the Essentials program for Classical Conversations. I cannot recommend this enough. As somebody who used to hate writing, this is amazing at teaching writing. The only thing that I would recommend is make sure that you actually watch the videos that go along with it, because I learned so much and got a better understanding of why we're doing what we're doing when you watch the videos. By the way, same thing goes for Foundations and really all of Classical Conversations. If Classical Conversations is the route that you end up taking for you and your family, please, 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 please attend one of the parent practicums. It really helps you see the big picture and what this is going to look like if you continue on throughout the high school years. Speaking of that, once they get to seventh grade, they start in challenge and they do challenge A, B, and then challenge 1 through 4 for high school. Again, cannot say enough about it. I don't have kids in challenge yet. Give me a few years and I will. All right, so Classical Conversations really does take care of a lot of things. It takes care of our history, it takes care of a lot of our English, it takes care of a lot of science, art, all of that. But we have more that we do, because it doesn't really take care of math. Math curriculum was something that was really, really hard for us to find a good one, because my oldest child let's just say her brain is programmed differently than my brain. So it was a struggle to find a math program that made sense to her, but was the one that I could also teach. Until Matthew C. This is not sponsored, but Matthew C., if you would ever like to sponsor me, I have referred so many freaking people to Matthew C. Anywho, this is my fifth grader's book. She's doing Epsilon. My second grader actually catches on to this so quickly. She's actually halfway through third grade math. Another perk of homeschooling, if you're a little bit behind in something and a little bit ahead in something else, it's not the end of the world. You let them work at their own pace. Let them master a skill set before they move on. But Matthew C is great, and let me tell you why, okay? Number one, we do the digital toolkit when we get it. That way we have all of the videos. They also have DVDs, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if we have a DVD player anymore. They can watch the videos on my phone or on my tablet. Later, Matthew C actually teaches the lesson, and then you get to work with your student until they master a concept, and then you can move on. It also comes with manipulatives. It comes with a big box of blocks, and then when they start working on fractions, it comes with different manipulatives. Really helps make those things click in their brain. I am a huge fan of Matthew C. Long division was still definitely a challenge for us. Fourth grade math was super hard for my fourth grader at the time. I don't know how I would have gotten through it without Matthew C. We've tried several math curriculums. This one's by far my favorite. Okay, another one that I'm a huge fan of for the little ones before they get to that essentials age. So like from kindergarten to third grade. You guys are gonna love these. I've talked about these before. They're the Explode the Code books. You guys, you can find these so cheap on Amazon. These are not expensive, and they are the best phonics books. Also, once your kid gets kind of good at reading, they can kind of go through it on their own without very much guidance from you. This was a game changer in helping my kids learn how to read. I just have them do like 2 sheets a day. By the way, great place to mention that we actually homeschool year round in things like reading and math. We do not homeschool year round for Classical Conversations, science, history, things like that. But for reading and like phonics type work and math, we do that year round. Why? Because it helps take the pressure off of our weeks during the school year. If we had to cram in all of our math during the school year, it would be really hard. You guys, I work, we homeschool, we have 2 co-ops that we attend. We need a place to take a little bit of pressure off. And if we do these things during the summer as well, number one, it helps with that summer slide where they tend to forget how to do all math and reading, but it also takes the pressure off. It's one of the beautiful things about homeschooling. Another thing that I actually added this in this year, and I don't use it like religiously, but we do use it. And that is, what is it called even? I don't know. I got it at the CC bookstore, the Classical Conversations bookstore at Practicum. It's essentially the spelling that goes along with the Essentials program, but then it also has spelling lists for the younger grades as well. So mostly I just use this to make sure my kids know how to spell stuff. I will go through a list, see what they know how to spell, and if there's something that I can see that they're having issues with, then we work on that until they kind of have those words memorized. Like I said, I don't use it super religiously. Like I kind of went through and read it, and I really just use the spelling lists. So here you go. If you're a part of CC, this is just a supplemental thing that you can use, or you can use it on your own. I don't care. All right, and finally, we do have a family read aloud. Now my kids, my 5th grader and my 2nd grader do have assigned reading. My 5th grader, I expect her to read so much every single day. I expect them to read before any television or any type of electronic comes on. And my 2nd grader, when my oldest was in 2nd grade, reading wasn't necessarily her strong point, so I didn't force it because I wanted her to enjoy reading. But my current 2nd grader is actually pretty good at reading so far, and so she's actually started to do some chapter books, so I also have her reading as well. I like to work along with their natural inclinations. So if they're really struggling in one spot, I will encourage them in that spot, but I won't force it. Why? Because I want them to actually enjoy learning. I want my kids to enjoy reading. And so I'm not going to force it. I will work with them on the skill set, but I'm not going to force it if they're struggling in that area. But we do a family read aloud. Called Story of the World. This is actually our 2nd time going through this book. This one goes along with Cycle 1 in Classical Conversations. You don't have to be in Classical Conversations to do this. It just happens to coincide with the Cycle 1 history. It's all about ancient history, and they actually have one of these that goes along with each cycle. There's other books like this that go along with the different history cycles of Classical Conversations, but I really like this one. We also have a big workbook that comes with it that I can make copies out of. They have like coloring sheets and different things for the little kids. If you really want to do more in-depth unit studies or something like that, they have ideas and things in that big workbook of different things that you can do, different art projects, different crafts, all sorts of things. Anyway, I really like it. It's got Romulus and Remus on it. I didn't know who Romulus and Remus were until I started doing CC. So there you go. That's what we're doing. My goal for this channel, I set a goal for 2022 to create at least one video a month on this channel. I really feel a desire to sew into homeschool moms more. I totally already failed for January because I'm not getting this video up until February. But hey, progress, not perfection. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you want to know from somebody who's been homeschooling for 6 years. One thing that I really get asked about a lot is time management and how do I keep my house clean. Currently, I'm working on a whole bunch of freezer meals. So maybe we can talk about stuff like that. If you guys want me to do more reviews about CC, that's pretty much it. Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. We joined a 2nd co-op this year. Oh my goodness, how did I almost forget this? So we go to Classical Conversations every Tuesday. We're there pretty much all day. We don't do any other schooling other than going to our homeschool co-op on Tuesdays, but we actually started doing another homeschool co-op on Thursdays. It's a fine arts co-op. It's an amazing program. They get to learn choir and band and drama, art, dance, all of these different things. And so that has kind of added to our plate a little bit this semester. This is the first semester we've done it. We're gonna see how it goes. I have a feeling that we're gonna stick with it. So we were homeschooling 4 days a week. Now we are homeschooling 5 days a week because we added in that additional co-op. So there you go. All right, y'all. Happy homeschooling.